Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to Starseries Season 5. This is day 8 of the group stages. I am Basekip, and this is going to be a match between Virtus Pro and Absolute Legends. It's the best of one set. Current standings, VP 3-1 in the groups, and Absolute Legends 2-1. So that's 6 points for Absolute Legends, and 9 points for VP. And yeah, that's about it as far as introductions go. We're going to be getting straight underway with the draft, and looks like everything is more or less set up. So yeah, we're going to be straight into it. And AL choosing to ban out a Wisp and a Gyrocopter. I guess interesting to note that their lineup is, well, it has sort of solidified now. It's Mania, Miguel, Rise, Miracle, and Unicorn XOXO. So we've had a couple of roster shifts sort of in the European scene over the last little bit. I mean, Absolute Legends lost Merlini, gained Rise, DD had to shift some people, but that's a story for another time. We've got some really quick drafting going on. So VP are going to choose to ban out the Bat and the Keeper of Light. Nyx is going to be locked in by Absolute Legends, and Darkseer and Lifesteal are going to be taken here by VP. So, nice to see some more Nyx. We saw a very big spike in popularity, and we haven't seen quite so much of him of late. I mean, as a hero gets more and more popular, teams discover more and more strategies to try and deal with him. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Shadow Demon as a second support from AL, since it's always nice to have against a Lifestealer, just between the Demonic Purge and the Disruption. But Nature's Prophet, a very early lock-in for Absolute Legends, and the Beastmaster going to be taken as well. Interesting to see what direction this is going to take us. They've got some really good early push, though it doesn't necessarily have to be early push, so VP may have to ban out some pushers in amongst their next few. So perhaps a Lone Druid, things of that nature, depending on how defensive they feel they can be. I mean, the Keeper of the Light was banned up by them, and he's obviously the best anti-pusher in the entire game, so not available. But yeah, VP, we'll see what they go for. Hopefully going to see some range from this point forward. Darkseer doesn't really add doesn't add a melee count to your team as far as the draft goes, but definitely nice to have more ranged heroes when you've got things like a Nyx Impale or a Sprout ready to go. And Rubik's going to be taken here by VP. Nice all-around support. Never sad to see Rubik, and I guess as some of you may know, he's my favorite hero, so always nice to see some Rubik play. And yes, definitely, Nyx versus Nyx makes for some very interesting verbal confusion, though I will do my best. Twitch is having issues. Refresh until you get sound. That's the story that I've heard. Okay, so heading into the next round, we're gonna have Magnus and Bane banned up by VP. Bane, always a nice support to have against Lifestealer, though the Shadow Demon is still there as well. And we're gonna have Clock, TA, and Puck, the bans out for Absolute Legend. As far as their laning setup goes, Beastmaster typically a mid hero these days. Given that they are on the dire side, they could threaten him on the offlane, force out a ward on the Ancients, and then just put him wherever they really want him. But we'll have to see, and VP going to choose to round off the bans with a Silencer. So, definitely interested to see what direction Absolute Legends take this right now. They could all-in push with a Nature's Prophet and the Beastmaster and some more Aura Stack and then a Lone Druid, and try and lock the game out before VP really get any anti-push online. They're looking for a support, and they're probably looking for their primary farmer at this point in time. VP looking for a support and a mid, which helps make a little bit more sense of the TA and the Puck bans that we've seen for Absolute Legends. And again, still wouldn't be too surprised to see a Shadow Demon as a second support for AL, unless they have some kooky or a global strat in mind, which would be something like a Vengeful Spirit perhaps. Not too bad against the Lifestealer as well. Could swap him around when he's raged. That's always nice to have. I guess the Bane ban, interesting from VP since they do already have a Rubik. And it's sort of nice to have a Rubik against a Bane, though I guess you don't want the threat of the Fiend's Grip at all. So yeah. And yes, 50 DKP minus. Yeah. Even side, many whelps, now handle it. But Absolute Legends weighing their options right now. They could go really greedy and pick up a Chen and go for the Lone Druid safe lane and just farm and then sort of death ball push. But VP are going to have options still remaining in the pool to try and turtle things out and take it towards the late game. Lifestealer kind of nice against the Lone Druid as well, and we're going to have a Crystal Maiden from Absolute Legends. And this is very, very interesting. TM, frankly, a very aggressive early support. Has two of the best well, two of the best early sort of support spells between the Frostbite and the Crystal Nova, and yeah, we shall have to see how Absolute Legends end up running this. Not a typical support in the current meta, just because of positioning and things like that and her atrocious base move speed, but yeah, we'll have to see. And I find it funny that the support icon is a pair of boots, since CM is just so absurdly slow. But yeah, we shall have to see. And Venomancer are going to be picked up from VP, so a fairly defensive support. I mean, Plague Ward's nice at stalling pushes, but not fantastic by any means. It's pretty aggressive as well. VP from this point forward could be looking for an offensive tri-lane between the Lifestealer, the Rubik, and the Venomancer. There is a ton of kill potential there. And their last pickup just needs to beat their remaining solo. But with the Darkseer, it's always nice. It doesn't matter if he's mid, or if he's soloing the safe lane, or if he's soloing the off lane. He's going to be happy with his lot in life. So VP have flexibility to go offensively tri-laning or defensively tri-laning. But, so, bonus points for VP. Oh, okay, let's go pros and cons. Pros for VP on running an offensive tri-lane. If Absolute Legends don't go for a very defensive carry, then it's really easy for them to try and find kills. They don't really have any way to, I mean, Absolute Legends don't really have too many ways to try and break the advance from VP. The minus points, there's a Nature's Prophet on Absolute Legends, and that turns a 3v3 into a 4v3, which is not a fun situation to be in. So VP could be weighing this either way. And Faceless Void, you're going to be taken here by Absolute Legends. So frankly, I think the Faceless Void a little bit at odds with the Crystal Maiden pickup, though. We'll see how this all works out. So I guess it's going to be Beastmaster mid, Nature's Prophet jungle / offlane, and then defensive tri-lane for them. And VP, this might be a little bit of a sign to go for this offensive tri-lane, since Faceless Void, difficult to kill, but it's not so much about killing him as it is shutting down his farm. Yeah, so we'll have to see. And definitely, as Keldra has said in chat, sorry if I butchered the pronunciation on that, Void is really nice to have against a Lifestealer since you have that really reliable disable, but I'm really interested to see how this is going to work out. It's nice for the it's nice as well for the Faceless Void since they've got the Beastmaster picked. The aura is going to be a big help, especially if he's going to have a bad start to this game, being potentially offensively tri-laned against, since he's not going to get as much farm. We'll have to see. VP could maybe not opt for the offensive tri-lane, though I would be surprised if they didn't. And yeah, backtrack counters pretty much everything. VP, what's the last solo going to be? There's no puck. There is a quap. So you wanna try and deal with Faceless Void with what you get. You would like somebody who can win the lane matchup that they're going to be in. And I'm drawing a blank, though it seems like VP might be doing the same. Stormsphere going to be the pickup, and I really like it. Gives them some Lifestealer bombs. Gives them some good pickoffs on the Faceless Void as well. Silence is absolutely devastating for him. And the Nature's Prophet. It's great to counter his split push, because the Storm is just absolutely lethal at dealing with the Nature's Prophet if he gets any degree of farm. So, interesting to see how this game is going to work out. AL probably not going to be getting too much out of the split pushing Prophet, and on the back foot at least to start. But as always with the Faceless Void, they give him long enough to farm, and he can start to swing things back. So, getting into the game, over on the side of AL, we're going to have Rise playing the Crystal Maiden. It's going to be Manny on the Nyx Assassin, Miguel on the Nature's Prophet, Unicorn XOXO is on the Faceless Void, and Miracle to play the Beastmaster. Over on the side of VP, we've got KSI playing the Venomancer, we've got Blue, who is alternatively known as Tame My Wild, TMW or Crazy playing the Storm Spirit, we've got Santa playing the Darkseer, it's going to be NS on the Rubik, and that leaves last but last but not least, Airman on the Lifestealer. And I'm just going to just quickly change my overlay, guys. So, sorry about that. Again, I'm doing things manually right now since I've switched streaming platforms and things like that. So, anyway, we've got an aggressive start from VP right now. Trant scouts it out, however, and AL probably not looking to take this level 1 team fight since the level 1 is okay. I mean, Nyx and CM, two great level 1 fighters, in fact, but the Faceless Void doesn't really bring too much. They've opted to give him a Poor Man's Shield and pull him some regen, so suspecting right off the bat that this offensive tri-lane is going to be coming, and giving him as many tools as he possibly can to deal with it. So it's going to be an offlane Nature's Prophet. Miracle will be soloing mid. Bottle Rush primed and ready to go for him. Similar story for Crazy. So looks like he's going to be taking mid. And Airman actually down on bot right now. So, well, VP, how are they choosing to do this? It looks like it might be a solo bot lifestealer and then a tri-lane perhaps centered around the Darkseer or just roaming supports right now. Venomancer, one of the best supports that you could possibly ask for to roam. There's no smoke picked up on VP right now, so this might be a little bit difficult in. Mania actually gets a D-ward off on mid right now. Oh, just needs one more hit. Yeah, and VP just going to back themselves out. But that's difficult for VP to deal with. So Beastmaster, there's not going to be a first blood up on him, and now they make their way up towards the top lane. Bryce does need to be fairly careful, though it looks like he's going to be fine. The nice thing about running the Darkseer in the offensive trial lane is that if things start to go south, the supports can sort of leave with impunity. Darkseer is obviously just such a strong solo that the supports are there to help him farm. It'll be interesting to see how the Lifestealer does against the Nature's Prophet down on bot, but he cares less about the Triantaras than anyone really, and just playing super aggressively right now. Open wounds, and just going to work. Looks like we've got some action about to happen, perhaps on top. Yeah, and Miguel's going to be fine on bot, so that's about it. And I'm keeping Hawkeyes on the map right now. Don't want to miss any kills. So, VP. Okay, let's talk about warding for a sec, since we've got a little bit of a lull so far. So we've got a lane ward down from Absolute Legends. They knew that the offensive tri lane was coming, and they have put up all of the defenses that they possibly can to try and deal with it. They've sort of created a bastion of safety up on this top lane. We do still have an observer ward blocking out the camp for VP, and Second Sentry not used just yet by Many, so he can get rid of that one if he so desires. And Rise just hanging back behind the tower right now, but Unicorn not feeling the pressure too much and still getting some good farm underneath this tower. And how are our other lanes going? Crazy going pretty aggressively on Miracle and bringing him low. The bottle is going to be flying out, well, can be brought out for Miracle in just a second. Though Crazy still plenty of regen to go aggressively in, making full use of it, and finds himself the 2-minute urn. That's a haste waiting for him on top, though the bottle a little bit further away, so we might see him consider heading up towards top lane. There is full vision for this of the Dire side, so it shouldn't really amount to too much. Yeah, and Crazy doesn't want to miss out on any experience on mid, so just going to pop the haste right now. Bot, how's it going? Airman 14 for 4, Miguel 7 for 0, so the Nake's actually doing a really good job at driving the Nature's Prophet out of this lane, though I think Miguel's eyes will turn topwards quite a bit. Again, potentially trying to swing this lane into a 4v3 situation and perhaps pick up a couple of kills. It's a very defensive build from Unicorn, no point up in the bash, lots and lots of time walk, so he can't really contribute too much to any kill attempts that they go for, though again, the Nyx and the CM are really good sort of killing supports in the early stages of the game. So it's just pressure from VP so far, but Unicorn doing a really good job of dealing with it, and probably going to see some Tranquil Boots or maybe just straight to the Ring of Health for him. So between the Poor Man's Shield and that Ring of Health, going to care a lot less about this harassment, and now going back for some points in the bash. Just a little bit of kill potential there with a roll to die. And Miracle just manning up a little bit on mid. The TP threatened from Miguel, but not going to go through with that one. He's got some boots up now, so a little bit happier with what's happening down on this bottom lane, though Airman doesn't care whatsoever about the Nature's Prophet harassment and just last hitting to his heart's content. So leading the farm board right now in both solos for VP, actually working out fantastically. The Unicorn's still very, very close. As far as the Storm Spirit goes, fairly gankable on mid, and that's what we've got happening right now. There is going to be a Sprout. Crazy in a little bit of trouble. He does have a salve ready to go. Not level 6 just yet. Miracle still wants this. The boar slows down, and that's going to be our first blood drawn on this middle lane. We've got a TP in from NS, but just a little bit too late. And Miracle doesn't have a TP, so he's just hiding down in the trees right now and trying to find his way out. And is fine in the end. We've got both supports from VP making their way towards mid right now, so that's no more pressure up on top, and yeah, with that one gank, get a lot done. Oh, and now Santa in trouble up on top. He pops the surge, but there's the impale, jumps off to the side, doesn't actually have enough to try and TP himself out, so just chopping his way through the trees. Can he escape? Rise still wants this. There's the frostbite. The ion shell might actually kill him, The creep switch aggro, and Santa, is he going to survive? Unicorn underneath the tower, there's one more surge. And what a play from Santa. That was some fancy footwork with the tangos to cut his way all the way through there. And now Unicorn, pretty low on mana. The supports are coming from. They connect the Gale. Was there a backtrack on that Fade Bolt? I don't believe so. And VP actually find the kill, so it's 1-for-1 the exchange in the end up on this top lane. A fantastic play from VP there, and especially, I mean, props to Santa for the mass tango juke. That was fantastic. Crazy, still not quite 6 on mid. The roar goes out. Miracle wants this kill, and looks like he's going to be successful as well. Dragging Miracle in. He's got the roll away just as that creep dies, zipping his way away. Miguel still wants this kill, and as drags Miracle back into tower range, bottling himself up. Now Sprouted. Trouble both ways. Axes fly. NS will drop. The courier comes in, and all that Crazy can do is watch. So a very daring escape from him. But Rubik, the consolation prize for Absolute Legends on mid. A-Man still contently farming away down on bot and putting a little bit of pressure on the tower just to remind the Nature's Prophet of where he really should be. Crazy rolls his way up onto the high ground on mid and just barely evading Miracle there. But despite actually leading as far as last hits go, ahead of the Beastmaster, Beastmaster with the first Blood Gold is a long way ahead as far as net worth goes. So I'll probably just leave it on net worth at this point, since with the lane configuration that we're running, denies aren't really that relevant. And it's probably a little bit more interesting for you guys as well as for me. So yeah. And the strength of the Darkseer again comes into play. The supports have been jumping all around the map, you know, trying to do things in mid, and whether or not they've been successful is debatable, but Santa has been able to just Ion Shell top and at least to a degree slow down the farm on Unicorn. And Ring of Health now picked up, so he doesn't really care too much about the Ion Shelling, and happy to last it underneath the tower, though it is a little bit more difficult. Miguel, Gloves of Haste, could be Treads, could be a Midas. Wouldn't be too surprised to see the Midas, since, I mean, Ale, if they're going to take this, it's going to be heading towards the late game when the Faceless Void is becoming a lot more powerful. So not bad to sort of aim in that general direction of the late game. We've got a big roll in on Mini up on top. He does have Carapace ready to go, but just stunned to death. We've got TP support coming in for Miracle. He's got the Roar ready to go, and Crazy. He rolls right, but now he gets roared. Nice Gale flies through, but Unicorn wants this kill. Chrono as well, just to make sure, and Miguel TP's just onto the edge. KSI surged up, but Sprouted immediately, and he'll drop as well. Rise securing that kill with the Crystal Nova. Yeah, not so sure about that one, but it gets him some boots, and oh so important on the 280 move speed Crystal Maiden. So can't be too critical of that one. So VP now down by about 2 kills, having a quick check in on the XP and the gold. It's about 500 the XP lead, still in favor of the Radiant side, and about a 1500 gold lead. The tier 1 tower under pressure down on bot, so Mania comes in just to try and slow the Nakes down. So we've got Nick Snakes, the dreaded name combo down on bot, and I'll do my best not to be too confusing. Crazy, not off to a great start to this game. 0-2 for 1, the score for him, and I mean Miracle just absolutely hounding him. I got some Arcane Boots picked up there. I'm interested to see who's going to pick up the mech on AL. Looks like it is just going to be, that Midas for Miguel. And there are plenty of potential mech carriers on their team. And again, they're not really looking to fight too much, so it can afford to be delayed a little bit. And it could just be Miguel's next pickup after finishing that Midas. It'll come along quite quickly. And there's even been some Ancient stacking going on. Meanwhile, down on bot, so Miracle, even more farm coming online for him. Mania just trying to soak up that all-important level 6, so can try and make a bit happen, but AL happy to play the let's farm and defend towers game right now. And VP, I mean, it doesn't matter how farmed the Lifestealer is, if he's caught in the Chronosphere later on in the game, then all of that gold is for naught, aside from maybe some armor and health. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of up to VP to be making things happen. They've almost got the armlet finished up on Airman, so they can get some infest storm ganks going, but Crazy, not off to a great start, and that's gonna slow things down fairly significantly. And Ale finding space, swinging the XP back in their favor over the last little bit with the Ancient stack being cleared out, and gold now starting to take a plummet. I mean, VP just not getting as much done on the map. We've got KSI trying to find his level 6 in the Ancient, and Santa up on top. Interesting to see another really early point in the Wall of Replica, so not opting to skip that until later on in the game. Want as much as they can get out of it. Well, there's an argument to be made either way, but definitely interesting to see, and I guess for anyone who's curious, then that's an observation. I'm not sure where I was going with that one, guys. Sorry about that. We've still got all the wards on the map up on this top side, and Mania still happily farming EXP down on bot, so doing okay. Yeah, I think Ale just frankly making better use of the map right now. I mean, crazy jungling a little bit, but can't really compete with the speed of the Nature's Prophet, and Miguel doesn't have his Midas finished up. Yeah, it is just going to be a Midas, so that'll be flying out briefly, and that's going to continue to push the XP and gold. Well, it applies natural pressure on the XP and gold towards AL's side. And Unicorn, I mean, he died once up on top lane, but not looking bad as far as net worth by any stretch of the imagination. Though it's not huge. I mean, he's added threads to his inventory since we last saw him. Santa's still just ion shelling a long way away from his mech, which he does appear to be going for with that chainmail. And if VP are putting the pressure on early, they want every single small advantage that they can possibly can, and the mech is definitely an important one, so Santa not having that much farm is really a detriment to these early pushes, and we still haven't seen a tower taken by VP just yet, so still happy, well, still content to play the farm game, and I guess letting Crazy recover a little bit, since he's really the setup right now for VP. And what's he got flying out right now? Looks like it's just some power treads, so cheap effectiveness to go for him. We might even see maybe a null talisman or two finished up as well, just so we can start leveraging that effectiveness to try and find some kills using the life stealer. And Miracle, he's not making his way towards that mech, so posed the question where it was going to be. We've worked it out now. Mania comes in with the Vendetta, but there's a Sentry Wood waiting for him. Nice Impale flies out. Airman still wants his kill. Roar thrown. Miracle turning himself around. Needs to get the boar up on the Nakes. Maybe. We've got the pop through on the Hawk. Mania's going to try and TP himself out. Is it going to be enough? The lift on cooldown for NS. And Miracle with the Invis just walking himself out. So nice little play there. Miracle again caught without a TP. So we're going to have the all too familiar route. Oh, KSI, he suspects what is up. They are keeping Miracle hedged in right now. And he's playing stealth. Well, stealth mode to try and escape. But yeah, KSI, that was some sneaky awareness from him with the Plague Ward, so thumbs up for him.
Middle tower is under attack.
Not so.
Okay, so as we can see, Unicorn didn't really suffer too much from the aggressive tri-lane on top. The supports from VP didn't really get too much done around the map. We've got a TP down towards bot. NS drops low, pops the stick charges to survive the Nature's Wrath. And that's going to be it. Oh, Crazy. Actually finds a kill on Rise.
Wasted on me.
Oh, Storm Spirit. Anyway, Womanly Charms wasted. But nice pickup there in the Crystal Maiden, and gets the first kill on the board for Crazy right now. So going to be a little bit happier with the situation. And just continuing to Bottle Crow as well. So zero downtime for him. Wants to be setting up kills all the way around the map. And Miguel, probably the target right now on this middle lane. We've got a Hawk corpse just underneath the tower. So not sure what that's about. Though Mania and Rise making their way towards the middle lane right now. So they could just bait a little bit with Miguel. And KSI just waiting off to the side. Vision a little bit better, as you can see right now for the Radiant side. So they've progressed a little bit past the river, but fairly defensive sentries from them at the moment as well. We've got the Hawk right in range of that one. NS hunting a little bit, but it looks like he's not going to be able to find it. And we've got a very quick pause. Just NS asking for a minute. Having a quick check in on our XP and gold graphs. It's 1750 in favor of AL right now as far as XP is concerned, and still a little bit of gold in favor of Absolute Legend. So still finding good farm, and Airman, I mean, a big contributor to that. But again, if he gets chronoed, the farm means squat. I mean, his armlet is health, but it's also degen, and it's really up to VP to be applying some pressure. I mean, Faceless Void is a long way away from becoming the oh so scary that he can be, but as soon as he gets that Battle Fury, as soon as he gets the farm accelerator, be it the Battle Fury, be it the Maelstrom, it could just be a casual Ring of Health for the harassment from the Darkseer.
Dire's
But,
structures
oh, well, hold that thought. KSI's in trouble. He comes up straight to the Vendetta, straight into the waiting support. So that's an easy pickoff. Crazy rolls himself in, but immediately gets frostbited, gets the drag back. Santa comes in as well, but the Chronosphere pops. Crazy does manage to find that kill. The wall drops as well from Santa. And Crazy, stick charges, still alive, rolls himself across. Odds of neutral's gonna kill him. No, they're not. Santa finds the kill on Mania. Now wants Unicorn, who doesn't actually, well, has enough mana with the magic stick to just time walk himself away. And Unicorn just goes for the turnaround underneath the tower. But Santa quite tanky.
tower is under attack.
And yeah, looks like it's going to be it for the exchange up on top. But not a bad trade overall. 2 supports for 1. Not hugely significant, but the Chronosphere used as well. So well, VP can now apply some pressure on this tower fairly aggressively. And Miracle again caught without a TP. Surely one is flying in right now. Yeah, so that's a TP flying in the second, but Santa immediately onto the tower. The TP is now coming in, but a little bit too late. We've got the Impale bounce, and they even got the last hit there. Oh, they're still looking for the kill. We've got the Nakes coming up, looking for Mania. Rage through, doesn't care about the Carapace. Unicorn comes through. Oh, but Crazy, big roll in. There's the Vortex. Unicorn vacuumed back. Killing spree for Santa, and the supports just a little bit too far away with Miracle, no TP. The tower went down before the TP was delivered, although it looks like he might have cancelled it as well down in the bottom lane. And not having that didn't really get too much done, so that was, I have to say, frankly, a little bit of a misplay on Miracle's part. And his TP is going to be on cooldown now. I think he used it, but all he can really do is apply pressure on this bottom lane, and VP know that he's sort of stranded here, at least for a little bit. So taking full advantage of it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What have we got
Dire's top
going on as far as items are concerned? Airman, 2,700 gold up in the bank for him. We've got some TPs going down towards bot, so Miguel gripping up to apply the pressure, but now the TP support comes in. Miracle trying to leg it out the boar, buying a little bit of space. KSI going to be surged forward, but it's straight into the roar and into, well, and into everything. The Nature's Prophet ultimate, I think, bouncing through there as well. But yeah, that was not a fun situation for the Venomancer to be running into. So, a nice kill for AL, and it's still only a 1 kill discrepancy on the map. XP, well, climbing up towards VP's favor, and now about a 4k gold lead as well, since they're leading by 2 in terms of towers. So not too surprising there. And how much of AL managed to chip down any of the towers? Tier 1 on top, Nada mid, well, about a third lost, and bot, it's down on about a third, so 2/3 lost there. So they've applied a little bit of pressure, and as VP start to head in towards the tier 2s as opposed to tier 1s, it's going to be easier for the Nature's Prophet to get things done, since it's significantly more difficult and a bigger investment for VP to try and be pushing into these towers. I said the mech was looking pretty slow from Santa, but he has definitely picked up the pace with those 3 kills, so that's now finished. And Crazy, first Oblivion staff finished as well. So making his way back into this game, and VP with some very convincing ganks. KSI gonna spot out Miracle, but he's the only one here, so needs to be a little bit careful. Just throws down an Observer Ward. Not sure if that one's gonna block out the camp. That just gives them a little bit of vision to try and jump the Beastmaster. And AL are slowly being pushed back into their corner of the map, as Unicorn continues to attempt to find farm, but slowing down a little bit as the map control starts to dwindle for AL. So yeah, Rise just going to get a D ward going and trying to keep the defensive perimeter up, but Crazy just ready to jump straight through it. But there's all this 4 heroes waiting here for him. We've got a Sentry Ward thrown up onto the high ground by VP, but that's going to be very quickly de-warded by AL. So not sure what NS was going for there, but maybe just trying to see if there was actually a sentry or if it was a gem. Though I'm not sure if that would have given a clear indication either way. And Unicorn now just backing himself away on this mid lane. He doesn't have his Battle Fury just yet, so ducking into the jungle is a significantly slower farming experience for him. And yeah, VP just applying pressure on mid, and I mean Miguel now going down towards bot to try and apply some slow pressure, which is what he needs to be doing, but VP seem undeterred. And KSI makes his way in as well. And yeah, looks like Unicorn might be forced to fight, waiting off on the side. Chronosphere ready, VP a little bit grouped up, though they have to be expecting this one. He is sitting right on top of a Radiant ward right now. So Unicorn probably not going to be able to get the initiation that he wants. And we've got the Infest up in Crazy. They're looking for this one. Miguel did manage to finish the tower down in bot and finished up the Shadow Blade. AL just throwing out some covering spam right now. But VP ready for the initiation at any moment. Fairly slow at bringing the tower down. So I think AL not too concerned for the moment, but VP are sort of setting up shop. And Miguel, no other lane for him really to pressure, so just gonna chill out down on bot. And that's gonna be probably all of the trade that he's gonna be able to find before he's required on mid. And VP still just lurking, looking for this initiation. Hawk's gonna be killed off very swiftly there. And how blind are AL? We could have Venomous Gale attempted the poison, Nova flies in. KSI in a little bit of trouble. There's the Chronosphere, catches 4. This is huge, but NS gets the steal, though it's actually on the Call of the Wild, the Vacuum Wall, doing good work, but the Crystal Maiden ultimate doing a huge amount of damage in that Chronosphere, and Santa stuck in the middle of everyone, going to be frostbited up, and a 4-0 wipe going back in favor of AL. What a team fight from them, and just what a Chronosphere from Unicorn, preventing absolutely everything from VP. I mean, the Poison Nova did its damage, but the mech up on Miracle, nobody really dropping too low, and AL finding turnarounds like this is definitely not the situation that VP will want to be in. And they're even going to be able to head down into the Roshan pit. And yeah, are VP going to be able to stop this one? I'm not sure. It's actually dropping fairly quickly, and the big guy just being bashed to death there. More TPs come in, crazy. How baller is he feeling? They've got vision, but they don't know how low Roshan is. And no, it's not going to be an attempted Aegis steal or anything like that. And Unicorn now with 6 minutes of basically, I can do whatever I want in farm with the Aegis, and it's going to be significantly more difficult for VP to try and push into. So the onus was on them to push, and they got slowed down outside the tier 2s. Crazy jumps in there looking for Unicorn. They're trying to force out the Aegis. Immediately rolls down onto the low ground. It will be the Aegis, but now Crazy stunned up, stun stacking a little bit, but Crazy actually completely out of mana. Miguel comes in. That's the new Aegis sound there. Crazy drops in exchange for Miguel. Unicorn lifted up into the air. Open wounds. No time walk. And that's going to be a second kill. Miracle splitting the fight up a little bit. Roar out on NS. Pops the Call of the Wild, and Airman still wants these kills. Miracle going to be forced to pop the Ghost Scepter, but the Ion Shell still doing great damage, so he's going to drop. And Rise, G2G is right, my friend. Get yourself out of there. And yeah, VP, nice gank. They got the Aegis, they got the Void, and they got the Beastmaster, all pretty much in exchange for the Storm Spirit. And it looks like they're going to be able to find a tier 2 tower as well. So I said it was time for Unicorn to say, well, I can do whatever I want. I can farm. I've got the Aegis. Didn't turn out to be the case, and VP, I guess, showing how many hoots they give. And yeah, that's the new Aegis sound, guys. Okay, so what's happening on top? Miguel Shadowblades himself away from Crazy, who unfortunately continues to die, so a very long way away from that Orchid. Miguel just gonna immediately TP himself down towards bot to continue to apply this split pressure. But VP, I mean, we actually have XP and gold ping-ponging back and forth between the two sides. Gold actually in favor of the Radiant pretty much the entire time. A lot of that coming from a tower advantage that they have right now. Yeah, definitely still anyone's game. AL still heading for the long game, and VP really needs to continue going for these aggressive pickoffs. And there's no Aegis, and they show that they didn't care before, so I don't think it should really make a difference now. And it's better than the buyback sounds, but it's definitely better than the stun sounds that they implemented for a while. Just to have a quick interact with you guys in chat. Oh, Miguel jumps in. KSI split off to the side, but he's just going to TP himself out. Looks like VP are going to be fine to disengage. Crazy rolls, and Crazy rolls, and Crazy rolls, and Crazy TPs, and he's going to be fine to escape. So AL bring 5 to bear up on top. Don't really find anything. Not a whole lot of wasted time for them, however. And a little bit of push. There's still a tier 1 tower up here as well. So having known that VP have TP'd multiple heroes away, and probably back towards base, or at least back to the other lanes, they should be fine to push this one, knowing that VP can't bring 5 to the lane. So can do a little bit of pushing right now. So, oh, Unicorn now with the Battle Fury finished up. So that one team fight on mid, very pivotal for him. A lot more farm now coming his way, though. Oh, actually doing a really good job just behind the Nakes right now, though I suspect there's something up on the... What happened, bot? Miguel tried to split push. I'm sorry, guys. Missed that one. Looks like we had... Oh, Infest not actually used. Now the mass TP is going up towards top. The vacuum back. Ale maybe a little trouble. There's an open wounds up on Miracle. Crazy rolling his way through. Unicorn is going to throw out the Chronosphere, just try and buy some space, but did just barely catch Miracle there. The CM ultimate doing some good work. Was that a stolen roar from NS? Yes, it was flying through. Unicorn tries to time walk himself away. And Airman still chasing. One more slap gonna do it there. Rise trying to make his escape. Gonna try and TP himself out. Looks like it might be enough. Nicely played. But a 4-1 wipe. Unfortunately, Crazy died again up on top. But a nice team fight taken there. And yeah, Miguel caught up. Well, it's 3 taken on top, and Miguel died down in the bottom lane. So, sheesh. That was, again, a really nice team fight for VP. Only half of the tower's health taken in damage as well. And now with the Desolator finished up on the lifestealer, this tower is going to be made very quick work of. And no fortification available either. Miguel goes back down towards bot to try and continue split pushing and use that Shadow Blade, but there's a gem up on an S. Interesting to see that it's on the Rubik instead of someone like the Storm, but I mean, Crazy's been dying in every single fight, so I guess that might be a bit of a questionable decision. We've got the Nature's Wrath trying to slow things down a little bit on top, but the mech keeping everyone topped up. Axes fly. Roar is still in the hands of the Rubik right now. So there's some pretty good team fight, and there's no Chronosphere for about 30 seconds. Crazy's still on mid, and AL do know about this one. KSI stunned up for now. The teammates moving in position, and Miracle comes down onto the low ground. The roll in from Crazy. There's the Roar flying out and the vacuum. A little bit of stun stacking, but looks like Miracle might drop regardless. Pops the mech, and he's a little bit caught out. Unicorn still chasing. And now across the side, Gem on the ground. Airman, can he pick it up? Gem still there. Crazy, who grabbed it? Looks like Mania actually got it in the end. And now Unicorn chasing after Crazy. Fairly low on mana, just trying to bottle himself up potentially. Airman and Santa come back in. Miguel trying to hide. They don't have the gem anymore. Unicorn jumps down, gets the bash on Crazy. Needs potentially a second bash. Throws the chrono. Catches 4. Now the TP. Huge plays from Unicorn XOXO. Though looks like Mania maybe regretting the decision to come and try and help out a little bit. They're going to throw the TP. But gives the gem back to VP, so they're going to be happy about that one. And that ward even got 1 hit out on the sentry, but yeah, Miguel just forced to hide in the trees. And I think that might be it as far as the push goes. Unfortunately, Crazy died again. I don't think he has his Orchid finished unless it's on the courier. No, but we've got a Heart of Tarrasque recipe picked up for Airman. And yeah, that's pretty much finished right now. So this is one hella tanky lifestealer, if there was a better way to put it. I'm not sure. So, what have we got going on? Santa BKB for the Darkseer right now. So, nice way for him to bait out a Roar. Nice way for him to survive the Chronosphere as well, since the bulk of the damage being done by AL for the duration of the Chronosphere is mainly magical. And the Freezing Field has been doing a lot. Really well played by Rise. Finding the position in the fights to get that off next to the Chrono, which is very difficult as the CM. I mean, she's so painfully slow. 355 with Tranquil Boots up. It's abysmal, but compensates for it with a really nice aura, nice ultimate, and obviously fantastic ganking spells as well. We've got Roshan about 4 minutes away, so AL still holding on to the Rex. Haven't really taken any damage on their tier 3s just yet. VP, looks like we do finally have the Orchid finished up for Crazy, so we're going to have an Infest. We've got the Gem flying out as well, and looking to stop the very annoying Nature's Prophet who's been pushing their bottom lane for the past 15 minutes. And yeah, everybody coming down right now. So Miguel maybe suspects something is up. They can't see anybody on the map right now. They do have Trance for a scrap of vision. Miguel's going to try and TP, but he gets vacuumed back. Now pops the Lothars. Where's the gem? It's on NS. They've still got vision inside. Lift available, but not used. And Infest not popped either. So VP, a very critical kill, and Miguel, 50 seconds on the mat. Not going to be able to split push, and this is a great opportunity for VP to just try and push of their own. KSI is going to TP his way towards mid, where AL are 5-man pushing. Interesting to see that they're still trying to push so aggressively, given the situation. Faceless Void does need to continue farming. We're heading towards 30 minutes, and he's got 2 core items up so far. Not sure what the next one's going to be. We might see something like a BKB or a little bit more damage. Mania initiates onto Crazy. Out pop Snakes. They kill off Crazy. However, Mania will drop in exchange, and Miracle being chased down. Unicorn joining that fight as well. They're going to surge forward onto Airman. The time walk away, so 2 for 1, well, 1 for 1 the exchange down the bottom lane, and Crazy dying in exchange for Nyx. A trade that AL are going to be happy to make any day of the week. We even had the wall invested as well there from Santa, so maybe expecting a slightly bigger team fight to come of that. And yeah, hey man, straight up onto the high ground. Desolator doing work. We've got a Blink Dagger now up on the Darkseer, so he can just initiate however he pleases, which is great because VP haven't really been able to use Crazy for that too much. He's just too squishy at this point. At this point in time, and with all of those deaths, isn't really much except potentially a Blink Dagger for the Nakes to get him into the middle of the fight. So Santa, this is going to be great for him. He can BKB, he can Blink, he can try and force Void to Chrono him, he can try and force a Roar, and then everybody else can come in as well. Got a Chronosphere thrown on Santa. Miracle just stuck in the edge there. I don't know if Santa's going to be able to escape. Nicely timed Frostbite. A big investment from AL, though the Chronosphere is a fairly low cooldown, so nice pick off there. And still only a 2-kill lead for VP. Still, we've got XP springing back and forth. Gold up 7,500, but not a whole lot at this stage of the game, so take from that what you will, and I'll show you guys the net worth. Sorry about that. Buyback status. Yeah, not too relevant at the moment since we don't really have any fights breaking out, but if you're VP, they really want these fights. They want everybody up, and they want to continue pushing in. Whoever said it in chat is 100% right. Miguel continues to split push down on bot, despite there still being a tier 1 tower on top. So it's more pressure than actual... It's more of a pressure than an actual threat of AL gaining any sort of advantage down here, which is interesting to say the least. VP, double damage up on Crazy, getting the Flying Vision out from the Static Remnant. We've got the Infested Nakes up as well, ready to go. Roshan is now up, and Miracle's there, working his way towards a Sun, so going to be a Heaven's Halberd for him. And yeah, VP just trying to push out. Miguel does a good job, gets the bottom lane, pushing towards the tier 2 tower, though VP target potentially Roshan. I do have the Desolator to make very quick work of this one, and pretty good vision as well, just from the mass remnants, wards, and sentries. AL know exactly what's going on, but the question comes down to whether or not they can stop it. The Chronosphere is still on cooldown for a couple of seconds after killing the Darkseer down on bot, and those precious seconds look like they will be enough for VP to take Rosh. So the investment, well, to kill the Darkseer on bot, not really paying off. Again, AL don't really need to take anything too risky right now. Void is going to get scarier and scarier and scarier as this game goes on, but goes for more teamfight right now with the BKB pickup. So damage not really through the roof just yet. Actually just bringing a lot of control, and VP Aegis up on... who is it? I should... there it is. I clicked on it first. Airman just straight up onto the high ground. The great thing about having the Aegis on the Nakes is that he just doesn't really care. He can go up onto the high ground Rage, try and force down the tier 3 in a couple of waves, and yeah, as we see happening right now, pops the Rage, continues to slap away. The Treants looking for a little bit of a block in there, but everybody just chilling back right now. For AL, and tier 2 tower down on bot, so Miguel now threatening Rax, and finally finding some space. The split push does have his Necro 3 up as well, so it's pretty quick if he can actually make it down. There's the TP. Miguel, did they bring the gem in? Yes, they did. Silence attempts to TP, but VP a little bit too sly for him. So they killed an Aegis Prophet. That's a minute without split push for AL, though they're going to be able to drive VP away from the middle lane. So it's exchanges of time going back both ways, but VP should be able to mount another offensive on mid before the Nature's Prophet respawns, or at least before he can really get the lane pushed out, since it's the combined time of 40 seconds for him to respawn, and then however long it takes him to actually get to the racks on this bottom lane. So looks like the momentum is actually which way is it going? It's pretty much dead even right now. Could still push either way depending on creep rolls. 20 seconds away for the Nature's Prophet, and Mania and Miracle make their way up towards top, but everybody now TPing back as VP threaten Rax. And Miguel probably not going to be able to split push this one. Airman surge straight up onto the high ground rise, throwing out whatever he can, but the tier 3 being brought low. Unicorn looking for the initiation, but just being scouted out by Plague Wards there, and Airman now onto the Rax. They can't really afford to initiate on him. And he's even got buyback available as well. Oh, Crazy big roll in, doesn't really find anything. Threatens the Chrono. Airman caught along with KSI. KSI might not be able to get the Poison Nova off here, but Airman gonna survive the full way through. Crazy drops, nice wall from Santa, gets stunned up by the Spike Carapace. NS bashed now, 4 staffs away. Tries to survive, gets the roar out on Unicorn, and Santa with the BKB, still trying to help out Airman who's in the middle of this fight, and Airman still with the Aegis, but just being kited to his doom. Sprout up on him, Axes chop that down, the time walk away, Crazy jumps back into the fight, buyback for him, Miracle being dragged back through the wall, chopped low, and Airman does manage to kill off Unicorn after a very long chase, still has the Aegis in hand, Manages to kill off Unicorn, not Miracle. I think I misspoke there. Miguel wants Airman, but vacuumed back. This is big trouble for him. They've still got a gem. Lothar's not doing anything. Unicorn rejoins the fight after a buyback, but just immediately forced back. And VP, this is going to be, well, probably 2 sets of racks for them right now. They've still got the Aegis on Airman. They did invest a couple of buybacks to do this, but just everyone's just here to back up the Nyx. The moral of the story. So VP finally find 1 racks. It should be 2. And Mania and Unicorn gonna try and slow this down as best they can, but there's no Chronosphere available. And yeah, this is looking a little bit grim right now, but still doing a good job of kiting things around. Mania sound lifted back, he's gone. Unicorn still waiting around for that Chronosphere cooldown. Doesn't really want to initiate in and die a second time. KSI with the space clearing. Venomous Gale, Rise comes back in. They still got the freezing field available, but melee barracks will go in just a second, and VP gonna follow it up with a second one in short order. So yeah, that's about it. That's the story of 2 racks down for VP. Roshan still a long way away, and looks like Airman not done just yet. How long do they have with the Aegis? In fact, I just checked. It's about 2 minutes, but everybody's pretty low on mana from the Nyx mana burn, and looks like they will back out. 5.4k gold up on the Lifestealer, colossal net worth, and the decision to put him solo bot really working out well for VP in this instance. Unicorn, he's chasing out. He's got the Chronosphere ready for Airman, but he's still got Aegis. Getting mana burned a little bit, but looks like he's going to be fine to escape. So, Miguel, with that death, I mean, Ale extremely reliant on having that split push pressure to try and force VP back, but in the end, VP says screw it. We're just going to go kill the Prophet, and then we'll come pressure mid, and it worked out fantastically for them. So, Ale now down 2 racks. It's definitely not unrecoverable, but starting to look a little bit grim. And yeah, I mean, we've got rank 3 wall up on the Dark Series, had that for a while. We've got the Infested Lifestealer ready to go. We've almost got a Bloodstone finished on Crazy, so despite the rough start that he's had and all the deaths in these team fights, Unicorn, where's the sounds? There's the BKB. Just throws out a few slaps on Crazy, maybe realizing he's a little bit tankier than he actually thought, so huge defensive cooldowns popped there from Unicorn. Mania comes down, looks for a kill on KSI. Is the combo going to be enough? Miguel is here, a couple more right clicks, does it. Miracle chasing as well, and now Santa just going to pop the BKB and try and escape. Roar on cooldown for Miracle, so we'll be fine to escape, but a bit of an okay trade around the map. Defensive cooldowns popped for both Santa and for Unicorn, though both supports dying for VP down on bot. So AL finding a couple of pickoffs and desperate times, desperate measures. Gonna try and backdoor the tower on mid. There is no backdoor protection on tier 1 towers, so you can get through this very, very quickly. Fortification is going to pop, and Crazy is still alive along with Lifestealer. So we got a huge roll through from Crazy, still plenty of mana left. The tower taken, but Miguel caught out, and there's still a gem up. Orchid, will it be enough? One more right click. Seals the deal there for Crazy, so tower for the death. Yeah, and we will give time for Storm to say his lines, because they are just kooky and really, really loud, so I'll stand down for that one. Santa makes his way towards an Ags. He's going to have that finished quite soon. And AL, again, with the Dead Nature's Prophet. Well, he's got buyback ready to go, but, I mean, the last lane for VP to push is obviously the one that they haven't taken racks in just yet, and this makes it nigh impossible for AL to actually really threaten anything. With split push, there's still tier 2s up in both mid and top, and even if Miguel gets to the tier 2, VP will be more than happy to take the tier 3 on bot in exchange for a tier 2 in one of their other lanes, and he just doesn't really push fast enough to be, you know, an enormous threat at this point. So if he was threatening racks, sure, but with VP camping out bot and tier 2s, it's just no chance. And VP camping potentially for Roshan. They're in a really good position right now with 2 racks down. AL can't really push out of their base to try and contest it. So yeah, they could wait and farm, or they could just apply pressure bot and force AL back into the corner. And what have we got? Airman completed Abyssal Blade for him, working his way towards an AC. So a very red and purple inventory for him. Sort of suits, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, VP just looks like they're just waiting around right now. And maybe just waiting around until they can kill Miguel one more time. He's going to go up towards top to try and split push a little bit there, but I mean, he can't really be happy with his split pushing efforts at this point. Constantly afraid Of the Storm, who is rolling in down on bot. Unicorn immediately popped. Just no hope there, and Airman even manages to find Miracle. He silenced, he Ghost Scepters, he's got the mech, but he's lifted. Is there any more disabled? The vacuum already used, the wall is ready to go, however. The wall goes, we do miss the Venomous Gale. Miracle still trying to escape, but Crazy, unrelenting in the pursuit, and 2 big heroes dead right now for AL. We're gonna have a buyback from the Beastmaster, but no buyback available for the Faceless Void. 50 seconds left, and that's going to be Mega Creeps for VP, and probably the end of this. And as with the Stolen Roar out of Miracle, a little bit of a taste of his own medicine, Mania now in trouble, beyond godlike from Airman, 13 for 1 for 10. Vacuum back on Rise, the very unfortunate Crystal Maiden in this situation. He's got his Ghost Scepter ready to go, and will pop it. Can he make it to the fountain? The Venomous Gale, just so cruel, and Rise is going to go down, so that's going to be it.
Dire's middle tower is under
Okay, so this... Oh, there's no GG call just yet, but I guess it should be fairly plain to everyone that this is... That's it for this match. I got some smoke popping out from VP, just celebratory smoke there. Okay, this has been Star Series Season 5. This is day 8 of the group stages. I've been Basecap bringing you guys this game. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I think we've still got one more game, and since a lot of people tuned in, I'll probably stick around for that one as well, though it's getting up towards 5 a.m. for me. But anyway, I'll stick around for that one, so I hope to see you for the next game. If you guys have any feedback for me as far as my casting goes, leave me a message in chat or send me an email, basecapdota@gmail.com. I hope to see you for future broadcasts, and I hope to see you for the next game.